Hold it. You're not that pretty. I'm a bad man. Wait. I still got the world.
In the late 1970s and early 80s, after Muhammad Ali retired, there was real confusion in the heavyweight division. There was no suitable successor. Champions changed often, and they did not suit the picky American public. A folk hero was needed, as Cassius Clay once was. Mike Weaver, Jerry Coetzee, John Tate, Greg Page, as well as other top fighters in the Royal Division, were not fit to be the dominant champion. The public didn't like Larry Holmes either. He was too calculating in the ring and pragmatic and polite in life. In early 1978, in a WBC title eliminator fight, Larry won all rounds against Earnie Shavers without any problems and was anticipating a title fight. Luck was on his side, because if not for the unexpected defeat of Muhammad Ali in the fight with Leon Spinks, Larry would have waited a good couple of years for the title fight. Leon Spinks, who created a sensation in the fight with Ali, was obliged by the World Boxing Council to fight Ken Norton. However, the Spinks team had already been in talks with Ali about a revenge match that would bring in a lot of money, and Norton was clearly not part of these plans. The WBC deprived Leon of the title and named Norton as champion, with no fight. This caused ripples in the boxing community. After some time, the World Boxing Council nevertheless appointed a fight for the WBC belt, since in fact Ken was a champion only on paper and had not fought for the title. With whom should Norton box? The decision was made in favor of Larry Holmes, who at the time was a number 2 in the WBC rating. At the same time, Ali and Spinks were supposed to box a rematch for the WBA title. Until that time, the WBC and WBA belts were inseparable. It was the unexpected defeat of the greatest that caused such confusion in the heavyweight division. Holmes won the fight with Ken Norton by a split decision. The fight was dynamic and close. Larry did not become a star in the eyes of the public, and even his confident title defenses did not affect the opinion of the crowd. But as luck would have it, the public adored Shavers. Earnie was not a high-level fighter. He had a strong right-hand blow, but could not always strike his target. Shavers cleaned out the entire division. He smashed average fighters, but almost always lost to top boxers. Nobody expected a miracle from him. However, it did happen. In March 1979, Earnie unexpectedly knocked out Ken Norton in the first round, in dominant style. This made a strong impression. They began to talk about a rematch with Holmes.
How are you going to make the fight?
Well, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on Larry. I'm going to throw combinations to the body, slow him down. Once I slow him down, I'll go to work on him. I take him out.
Well, the viewers are going to be watching you. What about the left jab?
Well, I can get away from the left jab. I'm using that now. I can slip inside.
What about your jab?
Oh, my jab, I got a good jab, very strong jab, Howard. And I think once I hit Larry a few times with that, you want to stay out of the way too. I'm going to be using it a lot more than I'm using it.
I was going so good, so strong. I was beating up everybody. 31 fights, beating Earnie Shavers, beating Kenny Norton. Had Earnie out 3 to 4 times, you know? And I figured nobody in the world could beat me. And everybody was saying this guy couldn't fight. The newspapers were saying he couldn't. The TV's network didn't want him. And I said, what the hell? I shouldn't even have to train for this guy. And I found out different. You have to prepare yourself for everybody and go back to the drawing board and do the things that you know how to do.
That rematch took place on September 28, 1979.
Does not automatically terminate the fight. With getting the power of the body into the arm. It used to be just a swish after the relatively lackluster showing against Mike Weaver. Tripling on it. And then back with another. Oh, that was the right. Keeps those gloves up there. Now look at that. Measure. Holmes 30. Chin up to Holmes' chin. The right fist and got in there. Then you saw the measure. And you saw it. There's the right lead again. Another right. And suddenly, Holmes is adopting a new weapon.
The first 6 rounds were no different from their first meeting. Larry controlled the opponent with his front hand, moved a lot, added his right, and if Earnie broke through to the middle distance, he immediately tied his hands, and the referee had to separate the fighters. Everything was looking like a natural victory for Holmes, And then came the 7th round. The round began in the usual manner. Throughout the previous rounds, Larry had given Shavers no opportunity to use his powerful right, stopping all his attempts. However, at the beginning of the 7th round, Earnie began to aim with the right hand at Larry's chest. The body is much more difficult to miss than the head, and some blows began to reach their goal. Time after time, Shavers struck with his right punch to the chest, and in one of the episodes, unexpectedly, after throwing a right punch to the body, he threw the punch up and hooked the champion's head. Shavers hadn't put all his power behind the blow, but nevertheless it was heavy enough that it shook Holmes. He was not prepared for this turn of events, and Earnie now understood what needed to be done and just waited for the right moment. He continued to throw blows to the body, and a minute before the end of the round repeated his trick again. He showed that he would strike with the right hand to the chest, but threw a blow to the head. The blow fell on a counter movement, and Holmes literally flew backwards. Knocked down. The champion was shocked. Shavers rushed to finish him off, but did not calculate the distance and failed in his attacks, allowing Larry to come to his senses, and the round came to an end.
Larry Holmes didn't have courage. They said in the Olympic trials against him, he showed it 5 times. He must be moved from Holmes' point of view. Again, it's gone back the other way. Look, the wild boar boxing action after this from our local station. A fight than he is fighting. Right, the right hurt him. Shavers is hurt. He's against the rope. He's a little bit wobbly. Fighters are exhausted now. Ring with the blow. Oh, good uppercut. How much more? Shavers is just blinded. He's now taking it. Look at that right, and that right, and that right. And the uppercut, the right and the left upper, laying the blows upon him. But Earnie, as he staggers there.
Shavers started tiring, and Larry continued to control the situation in the ring. Earnie couldn't surprise him anymore. His face was shattered by numerous blows from the champion's left hand. In the 11th round, the challenger was barely on his feet, and after another attack from Holmes, the referee intervened and stopped the fight, announcing Larry's victory by technical knockout. Holmes retained his WBC belt and once again defeated his longtime rival. But that dramatic 7th round of their second fight went down in world boxing history forever.
Give Shavers credit. He did catch in that 7th round. You know that.
Howard, I talk a lot. I try to sell myself as a champion. I feel that I have proved myself over 32 fights. Earnie Shavers would knock all of them out. The hard puncher, Earnie Shavers. Only thing about it, I can absorb the punishment. And I feel that I'll be champion for a long time. I'm still going to give all the heavyweights a chance to get something that I didn't get. That was a head shot at the heavyweight champion. I proved myself out. I'm tired of proving it, that he can punch. And I feel sorry for all the heavyweights that Earnie Shavers fight because he's gout and he proved himself as a boxer, a puncher, and he can go the distance. It's just that I was hitting so far, so much, it took a lot out of him. I cannot discredit Earnie Shavers or any boxer who gets in the ring with me. As you know, I worked very hard for Earnie, and if I didn't work as hard as I did, Earnie Shavers would be the heavyweight champion of the world.
Now, were you upset by Larry staying in his dressing room late at the start of the fight?
Well, that didn't bother me too much. No, it was okay. I guess he's the champ. He want to try to let me get cold or burn myself out moving, but, that's part of the trick of the trade.
Will you agree that there's no dog in either of you? You put up a great scrap.
Well, yeah, I think Larry put a great fight up. I got something in the 3rd round. I couldn't see him that well. not taking nothing away from Larry. He's a good fighter, but I did get thumbed twice in the third. And I was blurry. I couldn't really see Larry that clear.
I knew you could.
But yeah.
I'll tell you this, you won the hearts of a lot of people in this arena, and I'm sure millions around the country, because you're a gallant man.
Well, Howard, Larry haven't seen the last of me. I'll be back. Give me 6 months. I'll be back.
If you enjoyed this video, please click the like, leave us a comment, and hit the bell to turn on notifications so you won't miss our next videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so right now. See you next time in the ring.